So hello everybody, how are you today? In today's video we are going to celebrate that we are now officially over 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing and mind-blowing, and I am so thankful for that. And I am thankful for more than one reason, and I want to tell you in today's video, to celebrate the 30,000, I want to tell you why this is so special to me, and also the story of how I got started on YouTube. Who knows, it might inspire you. So the story begins like that. I was working at a work company before. I started Curbal, and I had the possibility to go to a volunteering trip to Peru. You've maybe heard the story already if you've seen the video. What is the meaning of Curbal? It actually has the same start. How fun is that, right? So I went to Peru and we were documenting the water sources in the Andes. And I wanted to share the story with my family and friends, so I decided to start a website, but there was no possibility for me to actually do any documentation there because there was no Wi-Fi, obviously. So when I came back from the trip to Peru, I got working on how to set up a website to share my story of the trip to Peru. So after doing some research online, I found that there was a service called WordPress.com, and it is basically a platform where you can start a blog for free, and it's just fairly easy to use actually. So I did that. I started a WordPress blog. It was called Watermark Peru or something like that. The title does not exist anymore. But I created it. I started to share the story of how the trip went, and WordPress has a banner in the beginning that it says how many visits you have and how many page views and where people come from. And I love that little snippet. And I said, oh, I would like to know more. And then I was reading online that there was this Google Analytics program. So, But I couldn't install Google Analytics on WordPress.com. I had to move to website, to the other version of WordPress, which was WordPress.org. The difference between those two, it was basically that I have to host the website in a server, external server, so I can install plugins. It's not the same anymore, in case you want to start your own website. But back then it was. So I started to look, okay, where do I host the website? And there was a different possibilities on how to do that. You could do a paid service, and there are very cheap paid services for hosting websites. Quality may vary though. Or I read somewhere that you could have your own server at home. And that was quite intriguing to me. I'm very curious when it comes to technology, and I'd love to do like do-it-yourself projects, technology projects. So that was quite exciting. So I was talking to one of my best friends in Spain, which is called Carlos, and he's like very good into any technology. I mean, he's just one of the smartest people I know, to be honest. And we were discussing this, and they were like, you can look into NAS servers. NAS server, what is that? And he says, okay, a server is a computer that is online 24/7. But it's a computer. I mean, there's no extra magic in there, otherwise that it can handle that much runtime, if you would call it like that. And that was quite interesting. I was like, oh, it would be fun to actually have my own server. How cool! It just sounds cool. Nothing else. And after I talked to him, I started searching online, and I found different providers, and I settled for a Synology NAS. I actually have now 3 Synology NASes. The Curbal downloads center is hosted on a Synology just for you guys, so that's quite cool. Anyhow, back to the subject. So I was researching about Synology servers, and I bought one. I decided I want to have a Synology, I want to have this size, and I bought it, and then I started configuring it. And if you buy a Synology server today, it is so much easier to install. It's basically click, click, click. And if you have a good router, I mean, it will do it for you. When I bought it, my Synology is a 713. The first Synology I had, and the 2 digits are the year that you bought it. So I bought it in 2013. The story was not the same. It was quite hard to set up your Synology, and I didn't know anything about networks. I didn't know anything about IPs or domain name servers or all that was complete. I didn't know how the internet worked, basically. I used it a lot, but I had no idea how everything worked. And to be able to configure the NAS, you had to learn how to open the ports on your router, and you have to know about IP addresses, external and internal. And it was a nightmare for me to configure. And back then, and probably still now, somehow, servers is just a very niche product. So people that tingle with servers are very, technical. So all the information, most of the information I could find online, it was very, 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 very technical and very hard to understand. So it was super hard for me to configure that Synology. And now, because I had a server and a WordPress where I could host as many websites as I wanted, I decided, okay, whatever I figured out to configure, I created a website where I will show how to do it, because I was sure there was not too many people that was in my position, but still I knew that there has to be some people that were struggling as much as I did. So if I figure out something, then they could go to that website and check it out and, figure it out easier than I did. So I started blogging about Synology servers. I still have that blog. It's called SynoGuide, and believe it or not, that thing has over 800 visitors a day, which is nuts. So there is a lot of people in my situation still today. That's amazing. I should maintain it better, actually. Anyhow, so I actually started blogging, and oh my god, it was such a, because one thing is to blog about a trip that you made. You put some pictures, you put some text, and once you learn WordPress, it's actually very easy to do. Another thing is to do blog about a technology that I knew very little about, and make it correctly and put out the pictures and point out things, and you know the drill, right? It's quite hard if you've done any blogging whatsoever. And for me, I was surprised that it took that much time, that it was that hard. I always figured that, the people that are doing these things online is just easy, right? Because there were so many people doing it. But I was actually very wrong. It's actually a lot of work to put content out there for others to consume. And when I realized that, when I got that insight, I was like, oh wow. I was thinking about how many people have helped me through my life do things. I learned how to cook online. I'm the last one of 4, and my mom did not teach me how to cook. So I learned how to cook with somebody's blog, or a lot of people's blog actually, how to cook an egg, how to cook pasta, I've learned so many things online. So there's like millions of people that have spent time, like I did, put something out there to help others. And I was thinking, I've been using internet heavily for, 15 years at least, and I probably visit around, between 15 to 200 pages a day, depending on what I'm doing. And behind all those web pages, there's people that have put their time and effort and putting the content out there for me to consume and to help me. And then I would start to feel like, oh my god, I've been helped by potentially more than 1 million per people, and I haven't done anything back, right? I don't know why, but I got like a little bit of guilt, like I should be able to, I should do more. I would like to not pay back, but pay forward. I think it's a better word, right? And right there and then I decided that if I ever get good at something, I would put content out there to help others, for sure. Just, it would be nice to be able to pay forward what other people have done for me and to give it to somebody else. And I know that there is no real debt. Nobody expects you to do that. I just felt that it was right because I use internet for absolutely everything. I'm a hacker at Googling things. I do it for for everything. So that actually bring me to 2016. I was actually using Power BI, the beta version of Power BI, because I was working for an American company and I have an American email address. So if you have an American email address, you could sign for a Power BI beta version. And I had that, and I was testing Power BI because Excel kept crashing on me. My data sets were too big, and every time I tried to do something with Power Pivot, Excel would crash. And when I tried Power BI, it didn't. So it was a little bit annoying because there were a lot of things that you could do in Excel that you couldn't in Power BI just yet. Although obviously Power BI has, catch up and move forward. But back then, that was a reality. I mean, it was a stable platform for me to work with a lot of data. So I did that, and loved it in a way that, again, it didn't crash, but I wanted to have Google Analytics data in Power BI. But back then, there were no possibility to create your own custom connectors, and there was no Google Analytics connector either. I was doing Google Analytics analysis on Excel. And I remember that I saw on YouTube a video, I'm guessing now that it was Ignite or some of these big Microsoft conference. I didn't know what it was before. I was not that much into Microsoft technology. So I remember seeing a guy talk about and demo a Google Analytics connector. I was like, oh my god, that is amazing, because at that time I was starting Curbal, and Curbal beginnings, the very, very beginnings, it was to be a Google Analytics company, right? I was creating a product to do better Google Analytics. I will tell you a story about that in another time. But I was really excited about that. They released the Power BI, the Google Analytics connector, but they released it on PowerBI.com, and I was so disappointed. Like, oh my god, because they gave you this template that you couldn't do anything with it other than look at numbers. And I wanted to have my own report. You've seen my Google Analytics template. You see now the kind of reports that I like to do with it. So I waited a little bit more, and finally it came on Power BI desktop. And the first YouTube video that I've ever published, and the first YouTube videos that I have, is Power BI with Google Analytics. If you go back, you'll see. Unfortunately, I deleted the first 2 or 3 because they were really, really, really bad. I regretted that I deleted them. There's nothing I can do. I don't have it left. So, but if you go back to my first videos, you'll see that I talk a lot about Google Analytics and solutions within Google Analytics, right? Because that was what I was planning to do. And I started putting out these videos. The reason why I did it on video, it was because it was easier, it was faster for me than doing a blog. So I tried to blog Power BI, but it just wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy the process of doing it. I tried video, and it was easier and faster. So I prefer to do video. And I publish probably like a video a month, and then I publish like once a week because I enjoy the process. And then I remember I downloaded the YouTube Creative Studio app. This is basically an app that you have on your phone if you do YouTube content, where it allows you to see statistics on your phone. And I was looking and I had like every 48 hours, I had like 100 visits. And then I remember suddenly I had 600 visits every 48 hours. And I was like, what's going on? Something happened. And suddenly I started to get, you guys started reaching out to me and talking to me. Before I would just publish a video and nothing happened, right? Everything was quiet. Maybe I would get a like or, yeah, I didn't get any feedback. It was just, you put something out there and you have no idea how it goes. But suddenly you start engaging with me and you start telling me that you enjoy what I was doing. And especially when I started with Black Fridays, which was quite, it wasn't in the beginning ish. And I started to interact with you, and that's when it started to become really, really, really fun for me. And if we fast forward now to November 2019, I wouldn't have dreamt of being 30,000 subscribers, and we are going to reach in December, according to my forecasting, 4 million views. 4 million views. That is absolutely amazing. And if we, go back to the core of the story of my wish of being able to pay forward all the help that I've received through all these years, I think I'm doing quite okay. Thanks to you. I never thought I would be able to do it. I never thought I would be able to pay back, but it looks like I'm doing quite okay. And I am super, super proud of that. Another thing that I always say, for me, YouTube, the best part is comments, to interact with you. I learn a lot from your comments when you're saying your video. Ruth, you can also do that, or no, that's wrong, you should do it like that. It is amazing. And sometimes I get more on my private messages on the different channels, a personal note from you that you say, Ruth, I got a new job, or you tell me, oh, I got a better job, or I got a certification thanks to your videos, or I've been working for this to solve this issue for the past 3 days, and now I watched one of your videos and it solved it. And those things, it just warms my heart for real, because that is the reason I do it. I love to hear your feedback that the content I put there, it works for you and it helps you do something, achieve something in your life. It's amazing. And if you think about it, again, I've said it often, but Curbal is me. It's just this in the camera, and I'm able to reach so many and help so many. Is absolutely mind blowing to me. It is such a gift. It's just amazing. I am actually, a side note, I am a huge fan of Isaac Asimov. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was born in Russia, but he lived in the US. He migrated to the US, and he was a scientist, author. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. I have here read his biography too. This guy is absolutely amazing. So he had an interview where he talked about the internet early on, where there was no internet. He was talking about how people in the future would not go to school. They would learn from each other in their own home, which is basically the internet. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And he has a lot of great books, but he has a series of books called The Foundation. I don't know if you've read them, but they're absolutely amazing. And in the Foundation series, he has the people has destroyed Earth, and they have to move to other galaxies to be able to survive, right? And they going into different parts of the galaxy, and obviously human condition, there's war. So there is a mathematician that predicts there's going to be a war, that is going to devastate everything, almost wipe out humankind again, and he has a project to preserve human knowledge. He call it Encyclopedia Galactica. I read it in Spanish. I don't know if it's good in English, but because I read this 100 years ago, and that it would be a group of people that would work together to put together this encyclopedia of human knowledge. So when the war ended, they could recover faster, because there would be things about medicine and agriculture and later on in life, when I actually, I remember I was at home and I was seeing the foundation books, and I was like, oh, and I was scrolling like this Encyclopedia Galactica. I was like, oh my god, that is the internet. That is the place where we humans put our knowledge for others to consume. So amazing. Anyhow, I don't know why I told you that story. Here's the thing. Thank you very much for the 30,000 subscribers. I am honored to be able to help you and to celebrate that as I did the last time. And it's also Black Friday, so 30,000 subscribers, there is 30% discount for everything on the web shop. So at Curbal.com you can go there and get any course or anything that you like, 30% off. As a thank you, a small thank you for everything you guys do for me. Because believe me, it's not just me doing for you, you do a lot for me too. So thanks, and I'll see you again tomorrow, actually, on the new video. So until then, as always, take care and bye bye.